Hey everyone, I'm Julia.
And I'm Julia.
It's great, never gets old.
Never gets old.
But today we are doing IB study advice as we both took the IB program in high school. And this is actually one of my most requested videos out there, so I thought I would do it just before your exams. So those of you interested in hearing our study tips, here they are.
And for the record, we were both really good students. We had to show our IB exam marks to get into U of T, so it's not like we're giving you bad advice.
Yeah, we both received the highest IB scores in both of our grades. So here are some study tips, and we really hope you enjoy this video and most definitely find it useful. So I took IB Geography, Spanish, English Language and Literature, Mathematics, Physics, and Business Management.
And I took English, History, French, Spanish, Math, ESS, and Music.
For me, the most useful thing was to multitask and really get my work done during the school day, especially during breaks when everyone was socializing. I was doing my work. I was like the little nerd in the corner that would always just do my work. Like, that's all it would be, so that at night I could go home and study. It was super useful.
Studying a little bit throughout your time as an IB student is the most effective thing you can do. Like at this point, if you're in grade 12 and you're about to take your exams and you haven't studied, it's going to be really difficult for you to catch up. So I'd say remember, if that is your situation, really you do have to grind, but also remember to sleep, because you're not going to retain anything if you don't.
For me, studying past papers was so valuable. I'm not saying completely depend on them, but I am saying you should do at least 6 or more for each class. And that might be an exaggeration, but look, I did 12. So if you really want to get the grade, you will put in the work and you have to study your past papers, because on a lot of the exams, the questions are the same. I remember my physics paper 3 was exactly the same as one of the past papers I studied, and I got very lucky. IB does reuse some questions or just rewords them. So I'm not saying depend on them. Once again, study, know your information, but complete the past papers to know how the mark scheme works and how the paper is.
And also, I would recommend, like, for history students, especially those of you doing HL, that is a really, really tough class. But in university, it's definitely one that's going to help you out. Keep your notes. I know after you're done with IB, you feel like burning everything, but that's not a good idea for history or TOK. Like, I'm in philosophy and history in university, and the stuff that I learned in IB is still very much applicable. So if you can keep those notes as a reference, it's really helpful.
I remember in university, I got asked a business question that was very similar to one assignment that I did in IB. So thankfully I had them online, but I did end up burning all my notes. So guys, keep them really, or pass them down. I passed all of my books down, like the physical notes that were past papers and things. I passed those down to my little cousin who's going to be doing IB, but the not important notes, like...
Yeah, you can burn those.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should be endorsing this, but I find that in university, at the end of the year, towards exams, everyone's looking for good notes for lectures that they missed. And if you have those notes, it's really helpful for you. If you can get in contact with the people who need them and even sell them, like people are willing to pay in university. And if you can start the practice of taking really good notes and stuff in high school, it's going to help you a lot in your university experience.
I know a lot of the things we're saying sounds like genuine stuff that anyone can say, that your teachers probably say a lot, but trust me, use this advice to your advantage, because you will do so much better with it. Another piece of advice that I have is remember the formula booklets, remember what's on them, but more importantly, remember what's not on them. And the equations that are not on them, I found this very useful in math and in physics. Rewrite them 15 times to a point where you can just write them without looking at anything and copying them down, so they stick in your long-term memory and you will have them for the exam. Trust me, you do not want to be missing out the easy marks where you're just plugging in numbers into an equation, clicking equal sign on the calculator and getting the answer.
Yeah.
They're very easy marks.
I can't speak as much about science and math exams because those were not my HLs, but for your HLs like English or history or French or something, be very mindful of your time. Your history paper 3 goes really, really, really quickly. So I would say definitely take the time to do an outline because you're going to be stressed and like probably some of your thoughts will just slip from your mind halfway through the exam. So if you do an outline at the beginning, then it'll actually make the work process faster, not slower.
Try not to do your outline for more than 5-10 minutes, I would say.
Yeah.
In my geography exam, we also had 3 essays. And for my outline, I just wrote paragraph 1 and the topic, paragraph 2, topic, 3, topic. Intro, conclusion, always a given, so you don't need to write that out, but yeah.
And in university, I just had my final history exam, and it was literally the same format as the IB history exam. It was 3 essays. I had 3 hours to do it, and let me just say, like, take these exams pretty seriously because they're really a good entryway into university. And if you do apply yourself, it'll make it much easier next year for you to just like transition right into a very, intense university style class.
A very common question I get asked is, how do you motivate yourself to study? And for me, it's different for everyone, but personally, I know that it's my future. I know that my college acceptance depends on it. Most of you, I know some people do not get the conditional acceptances. They get accepted right away, so IB scores don't matter.
Yeah.
But trust me, they do. You can use them as transfer credits. Like, it's not just like I get into university, I don't have to worry about these exams. You really have to ace them. You have to do great. Me and Julia both had conditional acceptances, as forementioned in this video. So we had to do great on our exams.
Yeah.
But seriously, take-home message is that these exams are your future. No matter if you have a conditional offer or not. Try to do great in these because really the information that you learn is so viable into first year. A lot of the things in first year university you learned in IB, at least for me.
Yeah, for me too. And it really is something that if you don't apply yourself, you spent 2 years in this program, like it's kind of a waste of your time if you were working hard throughout the other parts of the 2 years and then just blow it all at the end.
Don't procrastinate on your studies. Start early, but also get your sleep.
And take care of yourself. Remember, mental health is important too.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below, and we will be very happy to answer them for you. Good luck to everyone taking the exams this year. I'm praying for you. Godspeed.
Good luck.